Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 131, Elements of College Mathematics, Section 2.2, Problem 25. This is Section 2.2, Problem 25. It says get a 1 in the upper leftmost position of the matrix shown by multiplying the top row of the matrix times a non-zero constant. So in other words, multiply the top row times any value that's not 0. You can't use 0. So in the upper leftmost position, I have a decimal. That's what makes this one a little weird, a little different than the others. So typically what we do is to get a 1, if we can't swap rows, and we can't in this case, you start with that row. So in row 1, so I start an equation, row 1 equals 1 over the number I want to turn into a 1. So 1 over 0.2 times the entire top row. And I always say you can think of it as 1 over this number times the whole row, or the whole row divide by this number in the denominator. It's really the same thing. So as I do this, because I have a decimal, I'm going to do it in kind of 2 steps, and I'll show the simplification. So the first one, 0.2 times 1 over 0.2, you're going to get 0.2 over 0.2. That one reduces pretty easily. The next one, though, 1 over 0.2 times 6, I'm going to get 6 over 0.2, which surprisingly also reduces pretty nice. The next one, 1 over 0.2 times 1, will give me 1 over 0.2. And finally, the last position, 1 over 0.2 times 4, will give me 4 over 0.2. And then row 2 won't change. That will stay 0, negative 4, 2, 7. And the bottom row also won't change. That'll stay 3, 8, negative 1, 0. And at this point, my answer is technically correct, but really not in the best form. I can simplify this a lot. It's a big mess now with all these decimals and fractions combined. That's not really the right way to leave it. So let's set up a final matrix, the final answer. Now, in the upper leftmost corner, 0.2 over 0.2, it's clear that should reduce to 1. You have the same value over itself, so that's 1. That one's not bad. That I can do with no calculator. 6 over 0.2, surprisingly that reduces. So how would you reduce it? You either know the trick for math, or you would take your calculator, enter the numerator of the fraction first, divide by, enter the denominator, and hit equals, and what you'll see is that you get 30. So in the way I do that without a calculator, I knew 6 over 2 is 3, but because of the decimal, it goes in 10 times as many times, so it's 30, or just use a calculator. So the next value, 6 over 0.2, reduces to 30. The next one, 1 over 0.2, do the same trick. Take your calculator, enter the numerator, divide by, enter the denominator, hit equals, and your calculator will tell you that the answer is 5. Comes out to a nice whole number. And the last one, 4 over 0.2, you can do the same thing. Now again, with my trick, I know that's going to be 20. 4 over 2 reduces to 2, and then because of the decimal, it's not 2, it's 10 times what 2 is, which will be 20. If you know that, that's great. If not, just take a couple of seconds with your calculator, put the numerator on the screen of the calculator first, which is the 4, divide by, put the denominator in the screen of the calculator next, 0.2, hit equals, and the calculator absolutely will tell you that it's 20. Now, I've simplified that top row. The middle row is fine the way it is. It can stay 0, negative 4, 2, 7. And the bottom row can also stay the way it is. 3, 8, negative 1, 0. So even with that weird decimal, we were able to get a 1 in the upper leftmost position by multiplying the top row times a value that's not 0.